Have algorithms lost their performance in today's market? And this is a question that was brought in that I addressed a full-length video for, and this is a part 2 to that video. So if you haven't watched it, hit that link right there. And in this video, I want to show you something very interesting that I found that I think will bring tons of clarity revolved around algorithms performance. Let's dive right in. Welcome, if you're new to the channel, my name is Matt Jimenez. I'm an entrepreneur who has worked with the greatest minds in finance over the last several years, and I'm here to pour into you guys everything that they pour into me. And I uncovered a very interesting point that I'd like to address here and go over exactly what I see. And more importantly, I want to have an open discussion with you guys. So leave me a comment. I want to know exactly what you think about this finding that I just pulled up. And let me stop rambling. Let's get straight to the charts. But before I do go to the charts, to give you some clarity, if you haven't watched the first video, last week someone made a comment and they were basically interested in the bot's performance and its longevity, considering that they haven't been performing as optimal as they were in the past. Not to say they're not optimal now, but their concern was they were doing 10 to 15% and higher, and now they're only doing 5%. Sometimes 10%, sometimes 3%. And again, that's a whole video. And again, I made a video addressing all of that. But in this one, I want to uncover exactly why we may be seeing a difference in performance due to the economic standing of our currencies and a basket of currencies known as the foreign exchange markets, of course. So let's look at the charts. Okay, so here we have the federal funds rate. And one thing I want to talk about is as rates were going haywire back in 2022, and this is around the same exact time the Fed bot came out by Nurp. And one thing I want you to know about the algorithm's performance is the more volatility in the market, the more performance you will actually see in the software. So if the economy is going crazy and times are extremely volatile in the foreign exchange markets, that will reflect as a net positive almost every single time in the algorithm. Again, past performance don't indicate future performance, but as history shows, every time there's been extreme volatility, yes, we may experience a drawdown, but if you can sustain the drawdown and keep your cool, the recovery will be just as good, if not even better. Now, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So back in October 2022, we had interest rates on the rise. Back in 2020, when we had the pandemic at the basically zero, interest rates probably head into negative, who knows? And they started increasing rates to bring things back to life in the economy, make the spending not as easy and make it harder to get loans. That's one of many reasons why they play with interest rates, because the lower they are, the more they're incentivizing to spend. The higher they are, the less they're incentivizing it. So on the uprise, we had from 0 to 3%, and then we had another rate hike to 4%, another rate hike to 4.3, another rate hike to 4.5, another to 5, another to 4.6, another to 4.8, another to 5% interest rates. That's pretty high considering where we came from, and now in current day all the way up to 5.33%. And I want to know, do you think interest rates are going higher or lower? But back to the video. The reason why I show you this is that means that there was extreme volatility in the economy as a whole. Now let's look at the algorithm's performance during the most volatile times that we experienced. Now this software that I'm showing here is the Fed bot, and again, this is not my account, this is Jeff's account. So this is the CEO of Nurp. So let's go back to 2020 during the volatile times. Again, in 2020, he just started the bot, but let's go into 2023. So during the crazy volatility of all the rate hikes, that expressed in crazy swings in the performance of this algorithm. Look at 2023, January, he did 27.84%. The month after, 12.6%. The month after, 26%, 16.7%, 8%, 11%. I mean, look at these numbers. They're crazy. In fact, the lowest month he had was 4.34%. And again, during this time, it's in direct correlation with the volatility in interest rates. And during crazy interest rates, of course, you have so many major news releases that impact currencies. So as these news releases are coming out, as interest rates are being hiked and there's talks about even rate cuts, people were uncertain about this time, and there was so much volatility in currencies, which clearly reflected in this algorithm. So that's another gem that I wanted to highlight, considering the concerns around the bot performance and the longevity of it. Volatility actually equals profitability in this case. And again, this is not investment advice, and past performance does not indicate future performance, but I find it quite interesting. And every time we do experience a volatile time, even this year, we had a pretty crazy month back in April with a news release, and we had a very big performing month, ironically. And if I was to go ahead and look through all the users that publicly share their data, I'm pretty sure if they were running any accounts during 2023, which I'll probably make a spin-off video, interest rates and algo bots, and see how well they're correlated in their performance. And I will track not only this account, I'll track other accounts during this time and bring the data for you guys to look and digest. I just thought this was a pretty cool finding and wanted to bring it to the forefront for you guys. Something to chew on, something to think about. Leave me a comment. I'm really curious on your thoughts because this is very interesting for me, and I'm pretty sure it is very interesting for you guys. Either way, if you want to get an edge during volatile times, go ahead and hit the link down below. You could potentially get a software that will help you during volatile times. But either way, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and/or subscribe. And like always, my friends, peace.